Welcome back. In this video, we will be learning about the common pitfalls and things which we need to care while we are reviewing the profit and loss statement. In the previous video, we learned about the trend analysis. So let's look at that now. In terms of that analysis, keeping in mind that analysis, the first pitfall when we comes into our mind is collectibility of sales. So there may be situations where company want to increase their revenue by booking fake sales. So in that case, the collectibility of sales may become dubious. So you can detect that by looking at the collection ratios, average current asset ratios. Ratio analysis we will be looking at in the next video. But at this point of time, this is a common pitfall. We will be learning it in more details. Different operating models may give different percentage to sales and trends. For example, like gross operating ratios or gross operating profit, cost of sales. There may be a different models of how you are operating. If you are producing it from outside, your cost of sales will be higher because while compared to the what you are making by yourself, because in that case you are putting cost of sales as separate into cost of sales and labor, and you have higher administration expenses, higher rental, higher other expenses, while if you get it done from outside, those costs are all included into one and considered as cost of sale. So looking at the gross operating percentage, you may not be able to determine which company is better in terms of performance. So you need to be careful while looking at different companies, comparing different companies. Under recognizing of expense is also one of the area where the companies may sometimes manipulate the earnings. Differences in utilization of capacity. This is especially important where you are comparing two different companies. Those companies may be operating at a different capacity. So if one company is utilizing only 50% of its capacity, their fixed expenses, their labor, their depreciation, their renters will be very high. So their net profit percentage will be very low. But compared to the other company which is operating at a higher capacity, so their fixed ratios, fixed expenses are same, so are less, then the profit percentage will be higher. But it depends on what is the purpose of analysis. If your purpose of analysis is to buy out the company, then you may also be looking at the future expansion possibilities, in which case the first company will be more profitable versus second, more valuable versus second company. But if you are looking at purely from the point of view of a fixed income or regular kind of growth, then the second company is better because already utilizing the capacity to the fullest. So it depends on why you are analyzing the statements, so the results can be different. Now there are a few factors which, if they are present, they may be indication of earning manipulations. The first one is growing sales without increasing net profits, because maybe the companies are trying to show a higher sales while booking the expenses at the same time, fake expenses at the same time, which will give rise to the increase in the sales, or giving you a trend of increased sense of growth without actually increasing the profits, or there is an increase in number of day sales. So that means that the collectibility, again, as we discussed earlier in the first point, that collectibility of sales is dubious. So they are booking a fake sales, so which will give rise to the increase in the average collection period, which you will have to write off in future because they are not going to be collectible. Deteriorating gross margins, again, it may also mean that the fake sales and fake expenses are being booked to show an increase in the growth in the percentage, because that sometimes give rise to the increase in the valuation of the company. Decreasing rate of depreciation, as we learned earlier, that depreciation is just only an estimate. So if you are decreasing the rates of depreciation, your profit is going to be higher. That will again increase your earning per share, and then it will increase your market pricing and increase your PE ratios. So that is again sorry, not increase PE ratio, we're gonna reduce the PE ratio, PE multiple, but that is again, it will make your company look very good or very favorable for investment. So another way is decreasing asset quality, means probably what may be happening is you are recording a lot of fake expenses and increase and debtors and creditors, so which will give rise to the increase in the current assets compared to the fixed assets. Usually fixed assets are quite a bunch in manufacturing industries. But if it's a service industry, it may be a different model. So it depends on the company, but this is one of the indications. Now we will be looking at some of the ratios in the next video, where we will be learning more to because comparing different companies in absolute terms is not a good idea, because there are different results. So the better way to analyze is the ratios. However, ratios also have certain limitations, which we'll be discussing in the next video. So stay tuned. Thank you.